Hey folks, T-Buzz here. I was thinking as I was preparing my own worksheet to get ready to trade, I said, wouldn't it be nice to have maybe an overview to help you sort of think the way I think, which seems to really open the door for you to really ask more questions and learn more. It's all about educating yourself. But you always have to remember there's a high degree of risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. And I always tell people, don't put so much emphasis on one trade. Think about this is one of the next 10,000 trades you're going to make if you're serious about being a trader. Now, I call it numbers by the week because every week, and I think in these terms, I start on a Sunday night, getting my plan and process. That's where I look at news, events, my own personal schedule to know when I'm going to be available. But numbers by the week is a simple approach to keep you on the right side of the market. I follow this process every day. Monday comes around and I do it. And I use this because it's simple, consistent, and it works. Why complicate things? Now on Monday, I know the open of the week. We get the open of the week. If you're trading futures, that happens on Sunday night, but if you're trading stocks, that happens at 9:30 Eastern time on Monday. That open is very important. It will be important throughout the week. Then, during the day, I will track whatever ticker I'm interested in. If it's the QQQ, I'll look at the high and low as the day progresses. I will watch that day form. And at the end of the day, now I have the open, high, and low. That's a key set of numbers for me to make decisions. I do the same process on Tuesday. I get the Tuesdays open. And when I get Tuesdays open, I look at the week open or Mondays open and say, okay, am I higher or lower? It sort of gives me a proprietary insight about the current trend. I will again track the high and low of that day, which is now for the week. So if Tuesday has a higher high than Monday, and a higher low than Monday, now I've got me a trend building early on Tuesday. That's just an example of the way I think. Wednesday comes around, I do the same process. I find out Wednesday's open. What time? 9:30. Track the high and low during that day, compare it to Monday and Tuesday's high and low, where we started on the week. So I got the open, high, and low at the end of the day on Wednesday. Thursday, same process. This is so important for any ticker you're following because you're going to notice if a trend changes, you will get what I would call that tape reading insight, where you watch the tape by doing it this way, and you start getting a internal feel about that direction. And it also helps you give a measurement of whatever you're into, whether it's going up, going down, or staying sideways. Track that high and low for the week. Now you got Monday's high, Monday's open. You got Thursday's high, Thursday's low. Now you pretty well know, depending on where the current price is, what the trend is. Friday comes around, I still follow the process. I've checked my Friday's open. I track the high and low during the day, compare it to my previous numbers, and now I've built the week. And here's a couple, insights. Number one, always look where the current prices is relative to that bar that's growing each and every day. You can plug the opens in if you really want to get into a shorter time frame, but generally speaking, you always know for every week the open, the high, and the low when that week's over. Now, tracking these numbers will alert you when the high is expanding as the week goes on, or vice versa. If it's declining, do it for any ticker. This will help you identify if the market is getting stronger or weaker and creating what we call trade opportunities. In fact, I usually tell people Tuesday's called trade day. That's when this thing opens up, you start seeing the picture. Here's an example. If you look on Monday, May the 13th, you had an opening price of $443.99. You had a high of $444.09, a low of $441.65 with a close at $443.08. A little bit off the high as we finished Monday. Tuesday came along. Look at the week open. We plugged it in there. We looked at Tuesday's open, which was $442.65, which was down a little bit from Monday's close. But the high of the week is 446.46. Our low is 441.65, and our close is 445.93. Very close to the high on Tuesday. So what do we have? Monday and Tuesday, you had your up, you had your down, you had your opening price, but you closed near the high. Wednesday came along, and we opened at 443.99. Wednesday's open was 448. Comparing it to the week open, it's obviously higher. We went higher on that day, a new weekly high, 453.15. The low remained the same. We closed at 452.90. That trend, it started on Monday. We had an early insight to it. It followed through on Tuesday, followed through on Wednesday, and you can just see that form if you do this process. Thursday came along. The week opens 443.99. The Thursday's open is 452.71. The high of the week, a new one again on Thursday. So you had a new high. As those new highs are being formed, now you look at that low, which has remained firm all week, which tells you this market was headed higher. Friday comes along, got the same weekly open. The Friday open, look at Friday's open and go back and compare it to where we opened on that Monday, which is 443.99. The high is 454.69. The low remains the same. We hadn't made a new low all week. Now here's where you notice the market gets some profit taken. Comes down from the high to 451.76. Still bullish, but below Friday's open. Notice the difference here. Compare it as you go into next week and start the process all again. Connecting these dots every day, it's not hard to do. Always ask the question, what was the open? What was the high? What was the low of the week? These insights I'm giving you are going to keep you from having to stare at a machine. You can find these numbers at night if you work. You can find these numbers in the day. And then you always ask yourself, where's that stock trading now? Use this process to frame any ticker. As I always say, see you on the flip side.